Welcome back to another episode of the ARCA Zoomcast. I'm Casey Campbell. That, of course, is ARCA PR Director Charlie Crawl. Yeah, it's going to be a big week. ARCA West is at Portland, but before we do that, we got to talk since, well, we didn't do a show last week. Charlie was a little busy. You guys all went, ARCA drivers all went to the Michael Waltrip Brewer. Is it the new Michael Waltrip Brewery out in
The
Charlotte?
Michael Waltrip Tap House.
Michael Waltrip Tap House. Sorry. So that was how was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was good to see a lot of our former drivers who have made the jump up into the Craftsman Truck Series. There were a couple of our current drivers there as well, and of course Michael is a very gracious host and was really great to. I was probably the first one there, so I got to spend maybe 5 minutes alone with Michael, just chatting and getting caught up with him, and just a really wonderful guy and a great, terrific host. And that's a cool little spot that he's got there right down the road from the racetrack. And I think that's going to be a great place for race fans to pop into, particularly on race weekends going forward. But we had a great time, and appreciate all of the drivers for coming out, and thank you to Michael for hosting that.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get your reaction to this last week since we weren't able to do the show last week. How was Flat Rock?
Flat Rock was great, Casey. It was a lot of fun. A good competitive race. We had a little short on cars. Don't get me wrong. We would have liked to have had 2 or 3 more. We'd like to have 15 more, honestly. But the cars that were there put on a tremendous race, and the racing between Sawalich and Sean Hingarani was really, really close and really, really competitive. It was good to see Billy Venerini back behind the wheel and in the seat, and he had a good day. And Zachary Tinkle had a good day. The fans who were there, it was a little bit chilly, as but the fans who were there, I think, saw a great race. And I hope we get a shot to do that again somewhere down the road. I thought it was a lot of fun seeing those cars back at that little bull ring, and brought back a lot of memories for me as well. So I hope we get a shot to do that again somewhere down the road.
And of course, this past weekend, Charlotte. What can we say about Venturini Motorsports? Jesse Love is that's his 3rd win of the season. So impressive run for that 20 team the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's certainly hitting on all cylinders right now. Jesse is, and anybody who's been fortunate enough as I have to see him race throughout his tenure out west knows he's just he is. I think he's an elite talent. I think he's got an unlimited future ahead of him. He just needs to get that experience built up, and that's what he's doing here. And he's learning a lot, and you can see the where he has started from to now. You can see the immense amount of experience and knowledge that he has gained the last year and a half or so. He's just like a sponge. He just soaks it up, and he's got quite a streak going. And we're going to a couple of racetracks where he's going to be really, really tough to beat at Berlin and Elko. He's a short track guy. He likes to get in there and mix it up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we go to these places. You hate to put that label on somebody that they're the favorite going in, 2 weeks out. But, the way that team's performing right now, I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. I mean, he's going to have some really tough competition there, but man, Jesse, he's really just knocking on all 8 cylinders right now.
Yeah, of course, you got the 18 as well. And then, we might, and who knows who we might see later on in the season. So, of course, we got the short track swing coming up. That kind of starts for the main series. Just how excited are you guys to do that? And remember, all the races are on either FS1 or FS2 this year.
Right. So before we get there, Casey, we've got a couple of road races out west that we've got.
I was going to get to that.
So we've got our attention, right now is on Portland, and we've got a really good solid entry list for Portland. 24 cars, I think will end up showing up.
Okay.
And by the time we get to Sonoma, I think we'll have upper 20s, low 30s by the time we get there. That's always a very strong entry. So Yeah, we've got two road races for the West Series coming up, and those are two of the higher profile races out west. We've got a handful of Xfinity Series drivers that we'll
Yeah.
see on Friday afternoon with Cole Custer leading the way there. Riley Herbst and Dylan Lupton and Kyle Sieg. Some of the Kyle. I mean, he had a very limited run in the ARCA Menard series a couple of years back, but he
Yeah.
was very impressive when he came and raced with us. So, I think that's going to really raise the competition level there. It'll be interesting to see how Tyler Reif and his brother Tanner and Sean Hingorani, it'd be interesting to see how these guys stack up against some of those Xfinity guys. But yeah, before we get to Berlin and Elko, we've got to get through Portland and Sonoma first.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to get to that, but you kind of answered my next question about Portland, of course. And it's not only there; also William Sawalich will also be in the field as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Portland is always it's not been that long. I mean, it's not been that long since ARCA went to the West Series went to Portland. I mean, there were times where you guys went to Portland twice. So what's it like always going to the Portland area? And I know that the Green Savory team has always been good to you guys.
Well, it had been about 10 years since we had been there. We added Portland back to the schedule in 2021. We went there twice last year. The first race was back in 1986, and Herschel McGriff, the newly minted NASCAR Hall of Famer, ended up winning that day. And then from there, it was until I believe 2010 that we were there. So what's that? A span of 24 years?
Yeah.
Between races. And but it is, Portland, there used to be a half mile, short track there, that had dozens of West races, which I believe, if I remember right, used to be located right across the street from the current road course that we go to. So it's always been a home for the West Series. It's great to have it back on the schedule. Like you said, Green Savory, they're really great people to work with. We raced with them there at Portland. We raced with them here at Mid Ohio, and a great group of people to work with. And we're looking forward to it. It's last year's June race was a bit of a challenge with the rain.
Yeah.
I think the forecast is a lot better, and it's going to be interesting because we're running this race before the Xfinity Series this year instead of after. So we've got a couple of additional drivers entered, and should really, like I said, raise that level of competition for this weekend.
Yeah, what's it going to be like having those Xfinity guys in there? Someone like, Cole Custer, it's been a few years since he's been running in ARCA, and then Riley Herbst is back.
Yeah, it's going to be good having them, Casey. Like I said, it's only going to raise that competition level.
Yeah. So of course, these next two weekends, of course, you got Portland and Sonoma. What's it going to be like? What are and these are and you said these are tracks that you're going to be with NASCAR. What's it like to just have, because I know there's going to be some Xfinity guys next week at Sonoma, as well as possibly some Cup guys. So what are these next two races going to be like for you guys?
Well, it's great to be there. And the interesting thing is Xfinity, they haven't, I believe this is the first time the Xfinity Series has raced at Sonoma. And if it's not, it's only like the second or third time for sure. None of those guys have a lot of experience at that particular racetrack. So I think you'll see, just like this weekend, you'll see a pretty sizable contingent of those drivers find a way to hop into a West car. And as I've said, Casey, it's only going to raise that competition level for the West regulars.
Okay, so of course, Friday at 8:30 p.m. On Flow Racing. Of course, you'll be on the call for that one, Charlie. And if you can't watch it, you can also the Motor Racing Network will also be out there as well, out in Portland, so you can tune into that broadcast if you want to as well. So it's definitely going to be a pretty big weekend. Of course, this is going to be a pretty big month because we're still, as I said before, and I've said multiple times, that you guys are in this stretch that kind of started like in April. That's going all the way till September. You got two West races this month. I know it's still May at time of recording, but it'll be June by the time we get to Friday. You had two West races, and then the short track swing for the main series begins too.
Yeah, we've only got 3.5 months of consecutive weekends of racing between now and that that next off weekend. So we're looking forward to it, Casey. It's what we're here to do. And, you know, every one of us here, whether we're, you know, like myself who works every race, or, you know, we're part of the East Series and the West Series, or we're part of the national tour, you know, this is what we do. You know, we're here because we love it. And, you know, we're looking forward to a very busy summer. And I can't wait to get to the next one. And as soon as we're done with Portland, I can't wait to get to Sonoma. And when we're done with Sonoma, I can't wait to get to Berlin. So it is going to be a fun summer, and we're looking forward to what's next.
All right. All right, Charlie, thanks so much. We'll talk to you next week as we
Got
preview
it.
Sonoma.